here in 2014. And so this class is the first class that I've had all 4 years, 9th through 12th grade. In sophomore year, one student here was a particular challenge. Don't worry, he turned out okay. They all did. But one day, John came up to me with a sincere question. He said, Tiffany, what are the 3 best things about being a teacher? I thought, wow, this is a real moment of empathy, connection with this 15-year-old boy, coming to me with curiosity about the other side of the desk. I wanted to get it right, so I said the 3 best things about teaching, especially at Mount Madonna, and this is still true. Getting to talk about ideas that I love every day, history, being there to witness the students learn something new for the first time, and hanging out with young people, which makes me hopeful about the future. John listened and paused, and he said, it was just a joke. Remember what he said? He said, you're supposed to say your 3 favorite things are June, July, and August. I forgot he was a child and educator. I feel honored and privileged to have been their teacher, to be a parent in this class, and to be part of their ceremony today. I love to tell funny stories about all the students here, but you will hear from them directly and from the faculty who introduced them. So I want to talk about them as a group. As a group, as we have them and we see them here sitting right now, for this day is an ending. It's the end of 11 individual childhoods and the end of this group as a daily fact of life. And yet we are here for a commencement. It is a beginning, the beginning of your next stage of life. 11 little individual chicks about to be launched or maybe pushed out of the hawk's nest here and begin their adult lives. It's a truism of nature and a handy metaphor for human social life that birds of a feather flock together. The common term for any group of birds is a flock, but there are types of birds that go by very specific and poetic names. There's a pandemonium of parrots, a party of peafowl, an ascension of larks, a flotilla of seagulls, a flamboyance of flamingos. Other groups travel in bunches and bands and chains and murders. This group on this stage could have gone by any and all of those names at one time or another. Across groups of birds, there are those who prefer to fly solo. They glide, they hover, they dive. The hawks, the eagles, the falcons. We are in awe of their power, their self-sufficiency, and their confidence. But there are others who are most beautiful when they soar together, in purposeful V-shaped formations in the sky. The geese, the pelicans, we look up in awe of their straight lines, their understanding of aerodynamics, and their ability to get a large group to work so well together. They're still individuals, but they're at their personal, individual best as part of the group. Some birds do not always flock together with those of the same feathers. There are groups of birds that decide, or rather have adapted to their ecological changes by traveling in a mixed flock. A mixed flock is a simple scientific term for a gathering of mixed species of birds who work together for common goals. In bird life, that just means survival, collective foraging or protecting from predators, but the point is they're a chosen community. We couldn't have a more diverse, mixed flock of friends here on this stage. And since we are a small class, I wanted to do something special and say something about each of these chicks. Hanukkah, sometimes referred to as the earth eagle, the wild turkey is majestic and sacred, grounded to the earth and the cycles of the seasons. Turkeys are reluctant flyers. They can fly, and they can fly well, but they prefer to walk or run and stay confidently grounded. They are both common around here at Mount Madonna in roaming groups, but somewhat elusive as individuals. If you hear a loud cry of the turkey, you know it's protecting its territory and its group. It's extremely loyal. Symbolic of both wildness and domesticity. Hanukkah. May this wild turkey remind you to be confident, use your voice, and remember your time spent. And always remember your time spent atop this mountain at Mount Madonna. Summit. Perhaps the only bird more quintessentially Mount Madonna than the turkeys we see every day is the red-tailed hawk. Hawks travel comfortably in small groups, but are more typically alone. One of those majestic solo flyers we look up to in awe. But while we like watching them, it's the hawk with its acute vision and its intense focus on the ground, watching us. Sunny, you've spent the longest time here since preschool as a Mount Madonna hawk. May this hawk always remind you of your home here in our trees on this mountain, even as you soar to new heights. Because we are used to seeing them in large groups, we sometimes take the individual California gulls for granted as individuals. But the gull is strong, nimble, well-balanced, incredibly adapted to sharing their environment with diverse species. They have a unique perspective and skills of observation because they are good on land, on air, and in the water, whereas most birds only excel in one area. I'm not sure we would call birds athletic, but the gulls are extremely playful and agile. Mara. May this gull remind you to always look at things from different angles and be resourceful in what you use and what you leave behind. Priyanka. With its gift of song and voice, the mockingbird has fascinated artists, musicians, and poets for centuries. It has the widest range of sound of any bird. We humans dismiss it with our inadequate word mimicry, but that is actually an incredible gift of being attuned to the voices of others around you. Mockingbirds are good cross-species communicators, never flashy in their plumage. You might miss them if it were not for their voices. Priyanka. May this mockingbird remind you that listening and observing are your special guests, but to also use your beautiful, powerful voice whenever you have the chance. Kylie, drawing our attention to its bright, bold, stunning appearance, the bluebird is a universal symbol of happiness and hope. Somewhere over the rainbow, it is said, bluebirds fly. But there actually are no blue birds in nature. Unlike other birds who get their pigmentation from the food they eat, the blue feathers we see is just sunlight refracted through the keratin in the bird's feathers. That's some science for you. We are only perceiving the color blue, just as we perceive what blue means to us personally. Kylie also has a dog named Blue, by the way. Blue can be sadness or happiness. It can be the winter ice or the summer skies. Kylie, may this bluebird remind you to create your own self-perception and your own definition of happiness. Oh. With an outsized personality, the black-capped chickadee is often the leader of a mixed flock. Chickadees do not take no for an answer. Whether communicating with the other birds or with the humans who are supposed to be putting out seeds and water now. The chickadee has extremely complex vocalizations and body language to make sure their message is received. Smart, adaptable, devoted to the group, they prefer to be with others than alone. The chickadee is often associated with knowledge and truth-telling. So Lillian, May this chickadee remind you to have confidence in your natural ability to lead and to always tell it like it is. Physically commanding with its striking red crest, the woodpecker doesn't just fly in and land on a tree, it climbs up and down, around and upside down, physically agile. In Norse mythology, the woodpecker is the reincarnation of Thor, the god of thunder, with his flaming red hair and holding a hammer. The bird not only has a built-in tool, its strong beak, but uses twigs and other items and always has a project, whether it's digging out holes in the trees to find food or just drumming at the side of your house. Handy, energetic, and persistent. John, may this woodpecker remind you to always be seeking and searching, but remain true to your own rhythm. Though she be but little, she is fierce. The hummingbird is agile and flexible, can fly in any direction. Incredibly delicate, it's been described as being made of air, flitting around like an otherworldly fairy. But it will not hesitate to body slam one another, claim its territory, or its rights to the feeder. Hummingbird in legends is often portrayed as a healer and a helper for people in need. Imogen, may this hummingbird remind you to pursue your dreams in any direction and know that the smallest things make a big difference in the world. With its strength, power, and majesty, the bald eagle is a symbol of nations, history, and kings. Traditions around the world have an eagle figure. From Garuda, the body of man and the wings of an eagle who carries Lord Vishnu, to the Aztec sun god, to Zeus as the eagle which carries mortals to the top of Mount Olympus to serve the gods. Eagles are important to our human origin stories. They command our respect with their high-flying places and ideas. The eagle soars alone, seemingly invincible, but is always grounded by commitments back at the nest and in need of our protection from outside threats. Luca, may this eagle remind you to maintain balance between fierce independence and depending on others while soaring upward in pursuit of your dreams. Noah, active, acrobatic, balanced, and exuberant voice, the goldfinch is a good communicator and friend, highly sociable but always maintaining its inner compass, which is grounded in a deep connection to nature. The goldfinch's bright yellow color symbolizes both the sun and summer activity and the golden wealth and splendor of nature. A favorite of royalty, the goldfinch appears in hundreds of works of art. Living on the edge between forest and clearing, the goldfinch is so highly adaptable that it is one of the few bird species to continue to thrive and not just survive in changing habitats. It also happens to be the Washington state bird. And Noah is our only chick to fly away from California nest this fall to go to school in Washington. May this goldfinch accompany you as you adapt to your new environment and embrace your love of nature. Lastly, sage. Startling us with its beauty, hopping into our lives with a bold flash of color, the blue jay is always busy doing something. Playful, clever, thriving in mixed flocks with the other species. Jays are extremely vocal and unique among birds as gift givers. They pay attention to what other jays like and they make adjustments when gathering food and gifts. Scientists call this a theory of mind, the awareness that others have emotions and desires and needs different from your own. Sage. May this stellar jay remind you of your playful giving side, and may you always find friends who appreciate your many, many gifts. The jay has pretty nice hair, too. diverse flock you see here, a mixed flock. And if you want to, you can make your birds sing now. So look around and think about what gift you are bringing to this mixed flock, that you have brought to this mixed flock, and how you will take that gift to your next level of friendships. Are you thinking about it? Think about what the other birds in your flock here, what gifts they have brought to your group on the stage, and how that has changed you. My tree means friendship, and that is a theme they chose for their journey to India this year. Friendship is the basis of empathy and compassion. But when I looked up my tree, it also means unconditional friendship with oneself. You must be your own best friend before you can be a friend to others. And I want to end with the words of Sita and Ram from the play that we just saw. May you attain one another's friendship, and may you never be separated in your friendship.